Thank you for joining the telecast. We're delighted to have Waleed with us today. And Waleed, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you. Your story is very gripping. It's very, very important for America to hear it because it's something that you have lived.
Yes, sir.
It's not something that you read in a book. This is something that is part and parcel of your life. One of the questions I would like to ask you is what percentage of Islamics are committed to killing Christians and Jews?
What's the percentage of Muslims that adhere to Islamic fanaticism or the fundamentalist Islam, what Americans, as they understand it? Many times you hear scholars saying it's 15%, and I caught myself even saying this in the secular media. And even some of the scholars who I confronted, I asked them, is it really 15? They say, no, it's not. But because it's so tremendously more, it will be too overwhelming, and the media won't even accept the numbers. Al-Arabiya Network, which is an Arab survey done by Arabs themselves, when the elections were happening in the Palestinian areas, the question was, would you want Hamas or would you want the PA, the Palestinian Authority, to be the representative of the Palestinian people? 113,000 were surveyed. From all perspectives of the Middle East, the Arab world, were asked that question. Over 73% said we want Hamas to represent the Palestinians. In essence, what they're saying, we want Al-Qaeda-like system government in the Palestinian areas. This is what the Arab world is. So we can say over 73% of the Arab world support jihad ideology, supported by giving zakah, giving the alms, supported by finances, supported by political means, or supported by giving their bodies. You know, so an old person can send money, funding towards jihad, and he is doing jihad himself. So all this money is being funneled from Saudi Arabia, billions of dollars going right into building madrasas in the US, in London, all over the place. The American Muslim Society, it gets its funding from Saudi Arabia. So it's very clear what they're doing.
It's very clear. We've heard it so many times from many Muslim leaders that they want to Islamize the world.
پیام انقلاب پیام جهانی است، در جغرافیا و زمان محدود نمی شود. تردید نکنید که انشاءالله اسلام همه کجا رو فتح خواهد کرد، همه قله های جهان رو فتح خواهد کرد.
قد حكمنا الدنيا وسيأتي يوم والله نحكم فيه كل الدنيا. سيأتي يوم نحكم فيه أمريكا، سيأتي يوم نحكم فيه بريطانيا، ونحكم فيه كل العالم.
Radical Islamic groups want to see the world unified under Islam.
It's only a matter of time until we rule Earth, until we control Earth.
One day, this very flag will fly over the Parliament in London. We will see this flag that will fly over the White House, and we will see the Black House, the Kaaba, will take over the whole world.
Islam to the world.
You will take over USA. You will take over UK. You will take over Europe. You will defeat them all. You will get victory. You will take over Egypt. We trust in Allah.
Indeed, there is He who sent His messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the deen of Haqq, with Islam, to dominate all of our other religions, to dominate the United States, to dominate the world, even though the non-Muslims may hate it. Takbir, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah.
I read an article the other day that said there are 1.3 billion people on the face of the earth practicing Islam. Now, if 70% of 1.3 billion want to have jihad, which is holy war, and want to execute Christians and Jews, you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 million people on the face of the earth that want to do that. Would you say that's an accurate number?
Yes, either you can say it depends on what you understand. They support the ideology. Yes, would be 800 million that would support the ideology. Between supporting, funding, and morally supporting and wanting to carry out jihad themselves from the youth. That would be a correct number, yes. I remember for many years they've been saying 15%. That is not accurate. It's over 73%.
Well, even if it were 15%. 15% of 1.3 billion people is still 200 million. Hitler didn't have an army near that big.
Yes,
all of the Axis powers were not that big.
Yes.
But here, this is not an army that's centralized. This is an army that is here. They're living next door. They're ready to respond to a phone call. And 15 of them with bombs in the right places can with a nuclear suitcase bomb, can bring a city down.
Yeah, we've seen 10 airplanes almost got hijacked. It is very alarming. America needs to wake up. We could potentially have not just one Nazi Germany. We could have 20 Nazi Germanys if they topple the governments. You look at a country like Turkey, it's very sensitive. Then Islamist government won the elections. Yes. Erdogan's wife dresses in the Sharia garb to say that we want to reverse what Kemal Atatürk did, yes, which is modernize Turkey. Yes. And they want to enter into the EU. They want to, get all the Muslims all throughout the EU and water down the EU with Islamic fundamentalism. You got a country like Pakistan. The majority of Pakistanis want a Muslim fundamentalist government. The situation with Musharraf, if he is ousted, guess what? They already have nuclear. We don't have to worry about the nuclear. They have it.
Yes.
And you have Iran. We've seen Iran. Iran potentially is taking over Iraq. The government in Iraq is Shia government. It's very clear. The writing is on the wall. Iraq now is Iran's baby. And with Syria, Alawite government, also pro-Shia revolution. You have in Lebanon, Hezbollah. That's a whole different topic of what's going on in Hezbollah. It's a government within itself taken over Lebanon, which was a Christian country.
If you take a map and look across Europe and look across the Middle East, it is becoming Islamic. That's why they are attacking Israel. If Israel falls, the fortress of freedom in the Middle East is gone. Then look at Venezuela and their leader, who's anti-American, and anything that fights America, that ideology is coming up through Mexico. America is being encircled by this ideology, and the Islamics, if the war lasts 50 years, that's fine. They're very patient and very determined to reach that goal. There is a statement that I have been reading, and I would like for you to explain it to our people, is what is the meaning of first the Saturday people and then the Sunday people? Tell us that meaning.
Well, it depends. In Iran, it's first the Sunday people, then the Saturday people. Ahmadinejad has an hourglass behind him where his two marbles are coming down. The first one is America being crushed, falls down. Oh. And then it is the Mogham David. You can see in Iran hundreds of thousands of soldiers marching in the street, being pegged on the road, and they form these images. One image is U.S, and another image is the Star of David, and then another image forms a rocket, a nuclear rocket that hits the U.S. and splits it in half.
Wow.
Then hits the Star of David and splits it in half. In the Middle East, the Palestinians cry in the streets, it's the Saturday people first, that is the Jews, that is the Sabbath breakers, and it's the Sunday people next.